Hey kids, what's happening? I think they got the corn in a little late this year, but it's doing pretty good. It's probably about 7 foot tall. Not so tall here on the edge where the shade gets it, but out here in the middle, and there's some pretty good ears of corn on there. Now that's not sweet corn, not the kind of corn that we would eat, corn on the cob. This is field corn, which is used for grain. But it's right next door to the house, and I like to come over and check on the crops. It's just, I don't know why, it's just something that's always intrigued me. The evening's coming to a close, and yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a long, hard day. We got another day here at the house tomorrow to pack up and get ready to head out. Now you're watching this, it's Sunday night. For me right now it's Saturday, so by the time I post this it'll be tomorrow. You guys are seeing it Sunday night, and we'll already be preparing for this big surgery that V's going to have. So anyway, you know, I appreciate all the prayers, all the support, all of the, you know, everything you guys give. I don't really have any friends, so to speak, any buddies, you know. I mean, a lot of people know me, and I guess I could call them friends, acquaintances, or whatever. But real true friends, I mean, somebody you hang around with, V is my only real true friend, because I got nobody else. Now, back in the day, you know, probably about 20 years ago, I had a lot of biker buddies. Rode with them and had a lot of camaraderie, and but they've kind of all fallen away, and I don't hear from any of them anymore. And it doesn't really bother me a whole lot. I'm kind of a loner. Always been that way since I was a kid. You know, I don't know why. I just prefer to be alone and do things on my own. But I don't mind friendship once in a while either. Although you guys are just YouTubers, and some of you have been around my channel for a long time, I feel like you're my friends. Some of you I have met. Most of you I have not ever met. But I feel like I know you anyway, because you've always left me some very interesting comments, some heartwarming comments, some supportive comments, and, you know, I appreciate all of that. I appreciate all of that. But, you know, a lot of times when the going gets tough, people tend to fall away. You know, he's going through too much right now. I got him. I'm going to let him go. And I don't know if that's the case so much, you know. I mean, right now, I prefer to not have other people hanging around. It's just too hard. My full-time position right now is taking care of my wife until she can get into the hospital and get all of this matter taken care of. We pray that, you know, she'll get back to normal again very quickly. Anyway, you know, I've got, just around here, I've got a couple neighbors. For a long time, I didn't know any of my neighbors, didn't want to know any of my neighbors. I mean, I'm living out here in the boonies, and I like it that way. I like my solitude. I don't want some neighbor leaning over the fence. Hey, neighbor, what are you doing today? No, I don't need that. I lived in the city for a while, and I dealt with that, and I did not like neighbors, and I did not want neighbors anymore. And here I've got no neighbors. Well, the neighbors I do have are far enough away that I don't see them or talk to them or anything. Well, there was a guy, a neighbor, that was more or less a young drunk, and he liked to come over here and guzzle some beers to get away, sneak away from his wife and spend some time over here. And he always told me, man, if you need anything at all, you just call me. I come and help you. Well, he's been no help at all, basically. He's pretty scarce, so I suppose if I asked him to drink some beers, he'd be here like that, but I don't know. My wife befriended a neighbor across the street, a young gal. Her and her husband have been over there for probably about 10 years or so, maybe 15 years, and never really knew them. But the young woman that lives over there asked if she could come over and visit one day. And so she did that. She walked over and visited with V for a while. And a very, very nice girl. I went over there at one time, knocked on the door to ask for something, and this guy came to the door. He looked like he was half asleep, and he was one of these millennials that had his hair up in the bun. Yeah. And he just kind of blew me off like I had interrupted him. So I let it go, you know. I came back over here and I told V, I said, Man Bun was no help at all. And I had nicknamed him Man Bun. Probably, you know, prejudging someone before I actually opened the book and knew who the person was. It was sometime later that, you know, the gal came back over again. She brought her young daughter, 2-year-old daughter, with her. And their 2-year-old daughter just loves Val and I, you know. And she brought her husband with her on a Sunday afternoon. And they actually stayed for a couple hours, and I got to know this Man Bun, who I nicknamed him. And he turned out to be one of the nicest guys that you'd ever want to meet. Apparently, the first time I met him, he was not having a good day or something. It wasn't working out too well. But again, he offered, he said, anytime you need anything. And he said, I sincerely mean that. And he said, I understand what you guys are going through. And if there's any way I can help in any way, please call me. I said, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Well, you know, old Itchy, he says, I don't need no help. I don't need no help from nobody. I can do it myself. Well, it wasn't too long ago that V's car, the Nissan Rogue here, the front brakes started going out and were grinding pretty bad. Now, I've done brake jobs on cars before. But, you know, you need a good Saturday afternoon where you can jack the car up and get in there and start pulling parts off and still be able to run to the auto parts store and get the things you need and come back, and what doesn't fit, you got to run back to the auto parts. You know how that goes. It's not something that you can just do in, say, an hour, because you know you're going to run into problems down the road. And being that I'm a full-time caregiver for my wife, I couldn't sacrifice a day to do brakes on the car. I could not leave her unattended in the house because she relies on me for just about everything. So I had to make an appointment to take the car in and have the brakes done by a reputable place that I've used for many years, right in the local town here. Now the problem was, okay, they said, we dropped the car off, you know, on Wednesday, and it might take us a day or two, but we'll get your car fixed. Well, I thought, okay, well, I can get the car there, but how am I going to get home? Because they want to keep the car there. So I thought, well, I'll use an Uber, you know, I'll call an Uber. And the day came, you know, and my wife says, how are you going to get home? And I said, well, I guess I'm just going to call an Uber. She said, I bet you that's going to cost you a pretty penny, you know, by the time you pay that taxi fare from the car repair place all the way back home here. And then you still got to have them pick you up and take you back there when the car's done. She says, why don't you call the Man Bun? So I thought, okay. I gotta humble myself, and I gotta call Man Bun and see if he can help me out. So I give him a call, and I said, hey, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I got to take my car up to, he goes, whatever you need. What do you need? I said, well, I got to take my car in, and I got to get it. He goes, yeah, what time you want me to pick you up? I said, well, I can run it up there right now if you're free. Yep, yep, I'll meet you there. I said, okay, well, let me get my shoes on, and I'm going to head up there right now with the Nissan, and I'll meet you in the parking lot. Unbelievable. So I dropped off the car. He was right there waiting for me. I got in the car, and we rode home. We had a very pleasant conversation. He said, when your car's ready to be picked up, give me a call anytime. I don't care what I'm doing. I'll drop everything I'm doing. He said, I work from home, so he said, it's not a big deal, and I'll give you a hand again. And so the day the car, which couple, they had to keep it 2 days, and they finally got everything replaced on it and got it back to prime condition again. And they said, come pick it up. So I called Man Bun, and he said, I'll be right over. I mean, within 5 minutes, he was pulling in the driveway and picked me up. Great guy. I mean, we just had a real, man-to-man, down-to-earth conversation. Got to telling me that his dad was pretty much a POS, worthless. And he had to kind of disown his dad because of some of the things that his dad got involved with. And in fact, he was telling me that his father had a warrant out for his arrest at the time, and he didn't want anything to do with his father. And he felt so fortunate to know me and had a lot of respect for me in just a short time that he knew us, because he saw, my actions, I guess, of how I have committed myself to take care of my wife, and he found that very genuine. So I made a good friend. The guy next door, who, I was poking fun of originally, but found out that he's one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He's very sincere, and although he doesn't quite match my appearance by my standards, that doesn't matter, does it? He can wear his hair any way he wants. In fact, when he takes his hair out of the man bun, it hangs clear down to his back. He kind of looks like a ratty old biker, but anyway, that's my story for today, So, when I need somebody to lean on, I know that I have a good neighbor. But aside from that, there's times when you just feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel, and even the neighbor can't help, It's like you just need physical help. You just need mental help. You just need strength and courage, And in that regard, I always look to my Father God, and I pray to Him for strength, courage, patience, and He blesses me with all of that stuff. He's the best father I got, the best friend I got ever. Well, cats, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the prayers and concerns. Keep the prayers coming. We're going to need them. And I'll keep you posted, and we'll let you know what's happening here. Till next time, cats, I'll catch you all later.